Welcome to my channel, Mainframe Concepts, where we talk about mainframe concepts. Today what we're going to do is the result of the last video that we made, where we said that Java is more efficient than Cobol. One of the viewers questioned that results, which made me dig into this further, and turns out that he was right. So I went back to change the Cobol code, and here's the results, and here's how I did it. What we're going to do now is we're going to take last week's code, compile it, and run it. And we're going to run it 3 times just to make sure that there are no spikes in the results. And as you can see, the results today are in the ballpark of the last video. And now we're going to take the code from Java and we're going to run it 3 times also. And we will compare it to the results from last video. And as you can see, the result is also within the ballpark. So what are we going to do today? We will change this portion, and what we're going to do is to save this into another file so we don't mess up this current program. So in this new program, we're going to fix this code here. We're going to use hardware registers instead of memory variables. And in Cobol, you do this. You say you want to perform 10,000 times, and then you perform 1,000,000 times. That way, it uses the register instead of memory variables. Apparently, when you use memory variables, it does a lot more processing behind the scenes. For us to be able to test this, we're going to try it out on a smaller scale, like iterate 10 times and do that 10 times. And we will add a counter there so we will know that we are doing the right thing. And we compile it. And then we run it, we time it, and as you can see, the results show that we have iterated 10 times. Now we're going to do this for 1,000,000 times. Let's see what happens here. It took a little longer, 0.63 seconds, but still fairly respectable. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do this 1,000 times. And it took so long that we had to cancel it. So what it means is it's more inefficient to use memory variables. So now we're going to remove all the instructions that use memory variables, and we're just going to fire this up. And as you can see, it's pretty quick. But the Java is for 10,000 times for 1,000,000, so we'll have to fix that to match the Java code. We'll have to compile it again. And let's see the result. The result's still pretty fast. And what we're going to do is we're going to run this 10 times, and just to see how it performs. So we're going to run this, and it was pretty quick. And now we're going to run the Java, and let's see. It wasn't as quick as Cobol. So what we're going to do is we're going to run these 2 programs at the same time. So we'll execute them 20 times, all at the same time, and let's see what happens. So the Cobol's done, the Java was still going, and if you can look at the results, the Cobol has finished like probably 10 before Java kicks in. Actually, it's more than 10. So before Java ends, and the time it took for Cobol to finish 20 executions is probably the same time in terms of seconds. Whereas in Java, it took a little more than a few seconds. So what we're going to do now is we're going to map these just as what we did in the last video. We're going to map the results. That's for Cobol, and we're going to copy the results of Java, and then we'll paste it and we'll save it. And we will import it into a spreadsheet just like before and produce some charts, and we can talk about the charts later on. So right now I'm importing the data onto the spreadsheet, and you can see that there are some values in the Cobol program which exceeds 100%, and I'll explain that later on. But anyway, you can see that these are the data that's available, and these are the charts that are generated from the data. Now you can see this chart where Cobol is the yellow line and Java is the green line. So you can see that Cobol, there's only one instance where it went up the 0 seconds, and in Java it's always like 0.6 up to 0.8. So now you have Cobol and Java system time. The Cobol, there were some spikes that go beyond the 0 seconds, and Java is a lot more, with on the average 0.02 seconds. These spikes in the Cobol system time would cause some discrepancies in the percentage of system time over the total time, because the system time here is rounded up to 2 decimal digits, while the total time is rounded up into 3 decimal digits. Now we compare the percent CPU, and if you look at the Cobol, it's a little bit erratic, but you can see that it barely goes beyond 95%, whereas Java, there were instances where it went beyond 100%. So that means it's using 2 processors while it is processing. And here the total time is, as you can see, Java executes longer, and there was one where it's even gone beyond 0.1 second. Whereas Cobol, you can see it's barely beyond 0.01. Now this is an interesting chart. There are 3 spikes in the Cobol chart where it goes beyond 100%. And the reason for that is because the system time is rounded up to 2 decimal digits, whereas the total time is rounded up to 3 decimal digits. So there were times when rounding up into 2 decimal digits, it shows a 0.1 seconds, whereas the total time is 0.08 seconds, which is why when you divide them, the system time is more than the total time, which is not possible because the system time is actually a part of the total time. The Cobol actually doesn't go beyond 0 except for these, which we have explained, but the Java goes like sometimes close to 50%. The system time that it uses is 50% of the total processing time. What we can conclude then is Java is maybe fast, but it is quite inefficient. That when written properly, Cobol is more efficient than Java. As in all languages, the coding determines the efficiency of the program. That being said though, this is expected because Cobol is a compiled program. It doesn't have to interpret the code, whereas Java, while it is compiled, is compiled into an object code. The Java engine reads and interprets. It's probably more inefficient. It uses more system resources, and it's also more inefficient than Cobol. Anyway, thanks for watching this channel. If you have any comments, write down below. And if you think that the Java program can be written more efficiently, put a comment down below and we will test it out. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like and to share this video. Thank you.